If you want a good time, if you want a good time, let me hear you say, hey, everybody say, hey. If you want a good time, if you want a good time, let me hear you say, hey, everybody say, hey. If you want a good time, if you want a good time, let me hear you say, hey, everybody say, hey. If you want a good time, if you want a good time, up, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, put your hands up.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Taco Tuesday, March 5, just around 4:43 a.m. over there on the East Coast, and very little to cover, but got a lot of explaining to do. Today is Red Book, along with Eurozone PPI, which will be coming out in about 15 minutes, but the U.S. Red Book will be out at 8:55. Services and Services PMI, Composite PMI, ISM Services PMI, Factory Orders month over month, all fluffy bullshit. Why is it fluffy bullshit, Tim? Because it's not AI. AI is the only thing that matters. You could have no fucking leg and go run because AI is going to save your life. You could have no fucking eyes and you can see clearly because AI is going to save your life. Later in the afternoon, we have It Doesn't Matter, Fed's Bar speaking. And then because he doesn't matter so much, he's going to speak again at 2:15. Very little on the table as we go into Wednesday, which is Jerome Powell testifying after the market opens, where on occasion we do get the text of his introduction statement prior to the open. So on occasion, but he'll be speaking tomorrow. So that's the big headline for tomorrow. So I'm going to go over quickly how yesterday. Oh, hang on. Got to turn that off. I got my tick strike on. I'm listening to the market as we go. Yesterday, very, very, very low everything as the day began. And what I was saying there in the chat room, Elaine, we were talking about that 1.3 range on the QQQs at 10:44 in the morning. Coincidentally, the QQQ was such a piece of shit. It only had a 2.27 point range. Unbelievable. But again, because we're looking back to look forward, like I said at 10:47, there's a transgender reveal that's pending here because AI is all alone. It's nothing but AI. At 11:43, that's where it just became, you know what, man, what the fuck? Because Apple's down 2.73%, Google down minus 3.43%, and SPX was in a 10-point range. I'm going to pull that over because it actually matters. So this is my box on my left centered screen. And here's Google yesterday just eating a fucking 50-day. You know what? Let's put this up there. Load study set 200. It fucking broke the 200-day moving average intraday yesterday. Apple has destroyed 50, 100, 200, 20, 10, 5, broke that 173.88 here overnight. But again, with Apple just eating a big bag of fucking Bud Light Dylan fucking Mulvaney dicks. And then you got Meta, not too bad, little drop out of there, out of the 500s. Again, we're talking about the 500s being a little fluffy, psychological, little drop out of the 500s, that's all. Microsoft, not horrible, not terrible, hanging, hasn't been volatile at all during the entire course of this run from October of 2022. Tesla, again, bang, failed the 207.50 right over here last week, broke that big 193.81 today or yesterday, and big bag of dildos over there on Tesla, heading down to 151. Not going to play any kind of bullish fluff for anybody who loves the Tesla technology or what the company might be worth if they got rid of the EVs and just the batteries. Tesla's going to 151, sign it, seal it, and fucking deliver it. Bottom line. And then you come over to Viagra. Amazon. No, sorry. This is where you can buy Viagra. Oh, at least you can over here. The Asian version of Amazon, was talking about looking for that above 177, push to 181. We got it. Not saying to get short Amazon in any way, shape, or form, but we got the move that we were expecting to the upside. This would be a much better play for selling call credit spreads than trying to play the single leg puts in a short term down back to this 173, 171 area. That's it. That's the context for Amazon. You want to play Amazon, it's inside QQQ, which brings us to, what the fuck, man? There's no fucking earnings. And from Wednesday into the PCE, into the fucking Friday, into fucking yesterday, you got a 100-point move on fucking on NVIDIA. 100 points on a very well publicized, very well documented, absolute fucking Ponzi scheme. And what the fuck? AMD, I actually saw, and this was very interesting. Here you go with AMD going absolutely nowhere Thursday, PCE, AI fluff, boom, fucking 172 to 211, broke that 200 psychological barrier very easily and held it over on Friday. And there's people talking out there now that AMD deserves to be $1 trillion company. They deserve to have $1 trillion market cap. All they got to do is drive the stock price up to 600 plus, because there's billions of fucking shares that are out there outstanding. So, again, it became, what the fuck? You've got all of this stuff that is real weight, all falling off, and QQQ going absolutely nowhere. And what we wound up with there yesterday was a 2.27 point range. I'll get to QQQ in a minute. And it was just a complete clusterfuck. But more importantly, we go here. This started in the morning at, I don't know what it was, $1.75, $1.80, talking about how, you know what, I'll pull it up. A lot of, some reason, somebody over in Canada is not able to get the emails. They're not receiving the emails. And I nothing I can do. I send them. You can't get them. Monday, March 4 watch, 5100 QQQ 441, talking about where our bottoms are. And going in there to the start of the week here, the risk. Expecting the minus 5137 close. They were 170, 41, 5145, 5140s. And again, 9 weeks have passed, 2024. 6 of the 9 have closed down on Mondays or the start of the week because we have had holidays. And the last 5 Mondays, start of the week, have all closed down. So, yeah, that's what I was expecting. In the afternoon, later in the afternoon, after we got that push, which we talked about 5,100, why we were talking about 5,100, I'll get to in a minute. The 5145, 5140s were getting 4.25. I took a screenshot about 3 minutes later. $3.80, $4, $3.50. You ended the day full credit. Why did you end the day full credit? Because when I put out a trade as a risk trade on spreads, I got to take into consideration that guy doesn't have day trades. He needs this to close out at zero. Guy doesn't have the ability to lose money. He has to at least be able to take profits on this trade, no matter what. I also got to take into consideration that, hey, you know what? If the credit is sufficient enough and this trade is good enough, it can be rolled if required to be rolled. And looking at everything that I was seeing there, talking about how everything was falling to shit except AI, I never, ever lost confidence in it, which was why I posted there in the spread room. What was it? 2:58 p.m. 4145, 4140s were at 4.25. And I missed the top. So I'm sure that some people could have got 450 because of the move that we had. Ended at zero, full credit. So call it, whatever you want. 67%, 400%, depending on what time you got in there. But 5150, the reason I pulled out 5150 is because of Van Hagar. Van Hagar, the destruction of Van Halen after David Lee Roth left, 5150 was just horrific. Came out in 1986. All of us were teenagers back then. Everybody ran out to go get the CD. It was fucking horrible. But no, 5150 is what's referred to in California law for temporary involuntary psychiatric commitments of individuals who present a danger to themselves or others due to signs of mental illness. And what's fucked up is anybody can make an anonymous phone call and make a 5150 report on somebody, and they go and pick them up because that's the way California is. But it has more generally applied to people who are considered threateningly unstable or crazy. And that was the reason why I threw it out there, because we missed 5150. So I'm not that good. We missed it by 33 cents. But I traded with a guy for years back in the early parts of the 2000s, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I traded with a guy, traded futures, and this motherfucker, every time the ES was XX51.50, he automatically put on a short. And I shit you not, the guy was 100% correct. 100% of the time he put on a trade at whatever the first two numbers are, 2351.50, 27.51.50, 51.51.50. 5150 for him constantly fucking paid. And as we were up here at 5150, it made sense to me. But so here, looking at the SPX chart really quick, as you can see here, 5130, 5131. Why? Because we are in this fluff, never been to before area. It matters quite significantly. Should we get a dip, which we have at the moment right now with the futures down 18.5 points, we are embarking on that 5122 test, which was the highs over here, 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday. 5116 right there, which is roughly around what we're testing right now. And on that, we go back to the prior highs, which was the 98th or 99th new all-time high of the year, which was that 5111 after we broke above that 5100. The 5-day moving average being well down here at 5102 as of the end of the day yesterday, which will be moving up very obviously into this 5110, 5111 area. And futures are already saying that that should be the bottom, unless we get a report overnight before the open that we can break below that 5-day moving average, which in case we can, we will be looking at remove the 50. We're never going to see the 50-day moving average ever again. The 10-day moving average being down here at 5070, which will be moving up into around that very important 5080 area. Pull out the 5080. Why does the 5080 matter? And here's the 5-minute. And this is our 5080. Our 5080 was our resistance area as we went in. And that's where we're at. Minus 1% will now need to be moved from 5140 to 5149.67. Thus, minus 1% would be right there at 5098.17. God forbid we get a minus 1% decline like we got last week. Over here on the QQQ, 442 wanted it yesterday, wasn't allowed to have it because of the tiny little itty bitty teeny weeny range that it was. And here you are destroying 442 overnight down at yesterday's 5-day moving average. What is significant about this and having chosen what it was, because again, we're talking about here, where are we? This week, looking at the 5100 and 441 on QQQ, we're already at 441. So, hey, I'm taking the rest of the week off. IWM coming off of that 200 from last week, where it for the first time started getting up into the 200s, made it to that 207.21 for anybody who wanted the top ticket for that larger position going out to April. And here you are at 204.81. 203.69 is your primary, 201.90 under that, 199.44, 198.70, and your 50-day moving average will be coming in when we get to that, and then we can start looking for the lower stuff. So JP Morgan sent out the email. This was the reason why I say to go have a look at it. Hit this 187.08 pivot. Possible you could see 193. Still possible. So like I said in the email, I'm watching it. I'm looking at it. I'm checking it out. I'm seeing whether or not there's something better other than JP Morgan. So that's where we're at for that. So anyway, I will leave you off here with the ES. As I covered over there on the weekend, ES looking at this 1-2 coming off of the October 2022 lows, the December highs down into the December lows, no Santa Claus rally, the 100, the 161.8, and now here at the 200, that 51.44.50, which is how we got that 51.35 out of the SPX. Right up to it. Right up to it. So I like it. I like it a lot. We still need an enormous amount of evidence, and that would be coming when one of these Ponzi schemes, SMCI or NVIDIA, get revealed. I like it. However, this is the ES looking at here on our Thursday lows, 50.57 on the SPX, and that PCE ramp up and going into that Friday, and now here the move that we just got. On the S&P futures, on the 4-hour, this sell divergence is 100% in control. So we should be seeing SPX 5100 today. But because this is already down here into very near oversold territory, it will not be a very long visit. So looking for SPX 5100 today. Another warning is the QQQ, looking at it from a 1 hour. And you can see here just an absolute ass whipping since that pre-market 446.77. Just getting its shit kicked out of it. But now it's oversold. The QQQ 1 hour is oversold. And if we go over to the 4-hour, the 4-hour is oversold. We are just coming into oversold territory over there on the 4-hour. So this ain't one of those, okay, now I'm going to go get short. Nope. Now is when you start managing your positions that are in the short term. And I will leave you off with Bitcoin. Here is your Bitcoin move up in April of 2021 before everybody got their ass kicked. Then your ABC for your B wave up here to above 65,969 for the then all-time highs. And then your ass kick down to the C. And this very much looking where I can only see it as an ABC because of this impulsive final wave, identical to the SPX, having posted a new all-time high today, 69, gotta love it, 595. This 69,209 being the 161.8 retracement of that drop there from March into October. So everything lines up. 70,059, that 65,969 warning, which was already above the 59,900 warning. Anybody buying Bitcoin now, or anybody that you know buying Bitcoin now, castrate them. Make sure that they never, ever have children, because they are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet if they are buying Bitcoin now. Enjoy your day. Happy Taco Tuesday. I'll see you in the chat room.